Darren, it was defeated Barnet on the weekend. What are your reflections now, and how's the reaction been in training this week?
Training's always good, and we never really have a problem with that. I think training sometimes, one benefit of a smaller availability is that the numbers obviously compact, and then you get more time with those players rather than diluting out. So training's always been strong, very competitive again. We just need to replicate that in our game time. But there's a lot to work on at the moment. There's a lot to work on because you always feel at the minute like you're trying to train a new position into a player. So there's lots of coaching going on, and that will be the way it is until the others, organic players for those positions, return. I thought with Barnet, it was probably the biggest highlight of the ones we've been without, because you're playing a side that are a good side, and a good side last year. You definitely need your players that are suited to their trade in that position. So it was tough, a really tough afternoon, because apart from I know we hit the bar a couple of times. I thought it was a period in the first half we couldn't control the game in or out of possession, and that to us doesn't feel right. But and the players had to adapt out of position. They gave it a good go.
You touched on it there. There has been a lot of injuries, unavailability. You've actually changed the personnel in the squad quite a lot game to game. How much of an impact do you think that's made so far this season? But what have you also made of the players that have stepped up and called upon?
Well, the silly thing about injured players is that when you haven't got a good result, those injured players look better than maybe what they are anyway. You kind of miss them a bit more, and that needs to be a balanced opinion. But irregardless of what we think of the individuals that are injured, the majority of them are midfield players, which means we've missed a whole unit, and we're trying to obviously patch up with brilliant lads like Moss, Akinola, Wilmot's playing out of position, and then the level of the team, the sum of the parts has to really step up. And if we're brutally honest, we haven't really stepped up. So it's been a very frustrating August so far, and it's an August where it's an excuse-ridden August in the fact that you can think that if you had all your players fit, you'd have won all the games or some of the games. But the reality is we have no right to do that if they were available, and we've just got to push through this moment. And it is a moment in the campaign. It's a moment in the campaign. We've got to push through and come out the other side stronger, players fit. We don't want to rush people back too much because there's another 8 months to go, or 8.5 months to go. So we want to be professional, and we want to work very scientifically with our return to play, and get it right hopefully for the next 8.5 months rather than doing it sporadically. So, but yeah, they've been misses. If you look at Ince last year, 40 odd games, Kellerman 40 odd games, Anderson, since he's been injured, we know what a miss he's been, even last season. But like I said, you just got to push through. There's no other way of doing it. No one's thrown in any towels, or we're trying to push through as best we can, and we just want to see those lads back.
And next up is Gateshead on Saturday. We beat them away last season with a great performance. What have you made them so far this season? They obviously finished last season really strong as well.
No, excellent, really good. Like all the teams now, really well coached. Good recruitment in the summer. Very good. Tough games, really tough games. The crowd at Gateshead are always very good, very strong. So tough games. And it will be Saturday. A team that largely is possession based, and some of the way they move and interchange is very good. And it'll be a tough one for us physically. It'll be a really tough game.
And ahead of the 2 games in 3 days, how's the squad looking?
Yeah, I think Kellerman will be fit. We'll have a fitness test tomorrow with one player, a defender, and no one else is back. I think Anderson could be available. Sorry, Wilkinson will be in the squad. Sorry, Kellerman will be in the squad. We'll have a fitness test tomorrow with the defender, and we're looking then after that. We're looking at maybe Anderson being ready for Maidenhead, and then maybe Oyeleki thereafter. Ince, Cox after that. So we'll get there. It's just a tough one, and we can all sort of be down and frustrated, but you have to keep going.
Darren, thank you for your time.
Thank you.